Recorded live with little to no editing. It's Defense Up. How's it going, everyone? We got SuperNova here today on Defense Up. He is rocking that 27 million TCP and in gold 2 for Crucible. So we're going to go over his Crucible defense. Let's go take a look here. Alright, so for room 1, he's got a full Superior 6. Now, I do like this team. It's a team that I recommended. However, I do like to have Goblin, especially this small of a Goblin, being Skirmisher, because it'll take advantage of the room rules, and because he's lower stars, he will land some of that trauma and the other negative effects that he puts out there, like heal block, and I don't even know what else. It's just a crazy list. I don't even know off the top of my head. It's just a crazy list of stuff that he puts out there, but he will also make sure to put out the ability block as well because of the room rules. And we do have Lizard as a skirmisher as well, so between those two, everybody should be ability blocked, and they won't have immunity because Goblin will flip that. So this is a great tough defense. And so the only other change I would make is to swap Doc and Slayer over here. So Doc is giving some deflex to Lizard, and he'll give speed up to the adjacents as well after he uses his special. So that's why we put Doc behind Lizard, give him a little bit more survivability. And yeah, other than that, this room is great. I love it. Alright, so for room 2, also a decent room to have. Quicksilver, I love Quicksilver in room 2. The only change I would make is to have... Actually, we're going to kind of rotate. We're going to rotate counterclockwise. We're going to rotate Morgan, Agatha, and Strange. So we're going to go Agatha over here on the corner. We're going to go Morgan here and Strange here. And everything else, ISO's looking good. So we can keep that one going for him. Pretty decent room choice. Room 3 I really like as well. There wasn't many rooms that I didn't like in this one. So room 3, Black Knight Spider Society, always a really tough team. The only thing I would recommend is moving Peter and Ghost Spider around. You want to try and split up the trio, the main trio of the team, as much as you can, because if Hardlight can get in there somehow, like let's say they use a big time Spider-Man to strip off that taunt from Black Knight, which is a 3 diamond, going to be pretty tough, especially in gold 2 for someone to do that. But let's say that does happen. Then Hardlight can come in there and rewind this whole cluster, and that's not good for your defense. So that's why we want to move Peter and Ghost Spider, just to kind of separate it out a little bit, make them choose who they want to rewind and who they want to let take a turn. So, alright, so for room 4, I get where he's coming from with this Absorbing Man, but I think he wants to use like a Phoenix in here instead. That way you can put the Absorbing Man on with MOE. Full MOE still has their uses. They're one of the older Crucible teams, but they're still great. Still take out a lot. They can even take out some Old Man Logan comps. If you want to see that, make sure you check out my Week 5 recap video. I did it with an Old Man Logan team and with a... what was it? And against a Superior 6 team. So go check that out, and I'll put the link below for that. But we're gonna put Phoenix in here, and the ISO for Phoenix doesn't really matter too much. I like running her as a skirmisher just in case she does get a turn, she'll get a vulnerable out there. And then he has a purple skirmisher Logan, which I know for me I'll probably do a striker purple for him at first, and then skirmisher is not a bad choice, but outside, like if you're using Logan in arena, skirmisher is not a bad choice. In Dark Dimension, it's not a bad choice. But War and Crucible, I think he needs to be a striker. I'm going to change him to a striker, and then probably this Zuggs we want to do as a fortifier just for Crucible. In War, I can see why you'd want him as a striker, but this is where some of the ISOs come into play versus, you know, having different ISOs for Crucible versus War. So we haven't swapped any rooms yet. This room we're not going to swap, but we are going to take out Sunspot and put in Dorm. And now for ISO for Dorm, I like Raider personally. Striker's a good choice too. So either one on that would work. You can also put a Striker on Rogue. He doesn't need to be Raider in this room. You may want to have a Raider in like room 1 if you put them in room 1, but we're going to keep them in this room. So other than that, that's the change we could come up with for this room. So room 6 we're going to completely scrap. He just recently unlocked Scroll. He told us while we were kind of going over his defense. So we're going to put Scroll in this room. We're going to do Panda Pool, Sasquatch, Red Goblin, and Carnage. And the positioning goes Sasquatch, Panda Pool, Red Goblin in the middle, and then Carnage, and then Super Scroll in the end. And the ISO you want for that team, you're going to have the two, like Sasquatch and Panda Pool, they're going to be skirmishers. You can do Raiders on Carnage and Red Goblin. I almost said Red Guardian. And then Raider also on Scroll is a good choice in room 6. So you could do Striker on Scroll, but it's nice to have that extra damage, especially if he gets a chance to use his ult. So there you have it. Pretty easy defense review for SuperNova. Like I said, no room changes or anything, just a few positioning tweaks and ISO tweaks, and other than that, he had a pretty good defense and should hold up for him pretty well, even through Platinum if he gets that high. So hope that helps. If you want your defense featured up on one of these videos, just hit me up in the comments or hit me up on Discord and we can get you out of the list. We're working through it, but always love doing these, so hope these are helpful for you. And until next time, don't just have a great game, be good to yourself and others too, and we will see you around. So, want to change him to a striker. Other than that, that's the only change we could come up with for this room.